Ultra Nightmare, Doom's most feared and respected difficulty, one in which only 2.1% of Doom 2016 players have beaten the first level, the UAC. Today, we're going to analyze how to improve your Doom game with the concept of situational awareness. It's a tactic that will help take you from a regular player all the way to a skilled slayer. I'm your host, Alston, and welcome to Ultra Nightmare Situational Awareness Analysis. May 13th, 2016, the gates of Ultra Nightmare are open to the world, and Zero Master beat it in a day. How? Well, other than being a machine, he possesses many valuable skills, including, but not limited to, situational awareness. So what is that? Well, it's being cognizant of what's going on around you, not only right now, but in the next 3 seconds. Not only in front of you, but in all directions, even predicting what will happen next. I'll analyze some of my good and bad examples to show you what to do and what not to do. Let's dive in. So my original target's this imp on the ground, right? So I start to go after him, but then I notice one on the column. See, column imps are bad news because the fireballs are so damaging when charged up. I now begin the combat chest to dance, looking at my peripheral, never developing tunnel vision on either imp. So check this out. When I reviewed the footage, I noticed this glory kill put me above 75 health, which now meant I could survive a charged imp fireball. If you can notice this during the game, you're at a huge advantage. So let's do a visual example. I'm looking directly at you, but my peripheral vision is watching my hand over here, tracking what it's doing, looking over as needed, as I'm listening to what's going on behind me and predicting enemy patterns. Let's use an example of Res Ops where I did not do so great. See if you can find out why. Let's run back this way. Run over here, make sure we don't fall and die. Probably not a good idea to be using that on those. Need to save it for the imps and soldiers. Uh-oh. Did you catch that? It's near the beginning of the clip and it's tough to spot. Let's take a look in slow motion. Let's run back this way. Did you see the bright flash of light? Let's take a look at the freeze frame and look a little deeper. It's at this moment an imp fireball goes whizzing behind me, and then it's now that he's coming after me. See, I was so focused in on the monsters ahead of me, even though they were weak, that I neglected what was going on behind me and to the side. Thankfully, I make up for it in Foundry. Check this out. We don't have a lot of cluster strike. All right, the other knights are now in play. So how did I know that? Well, look in the top left-hand corner. Out of my peripheral, I saw the knight spawn after the Razor Death, letting me know the next wave was ready to rip and tear. All right, the other knights are now in play. Now let's check out a bad but hilarious example. Like the yellow ones? That sucked. Whoa, nope. Hold on. I neglected to handle the knights after you get the key cards when they spawn, and it almost came back to get me on Ultra Nightmare. Next up, we're going to look at how to use just your ears to dodge an attack, and then we're going to check out some boss analysis. You ready? Here we go. That's all right. It's not too late yet. Listen for the imp fireballs. I know you can't see. Yes, BFG. I know I can't see the imp fireballs, but I'm trying my very best to dodge them. Knight. Knock him out. Back to the imps. All right, so there's really a lot of stuff going on here. Let's break it down. There are imps on the top rafters above me. There are imps behind me shooting, and then the ones that I'm controlling in the spawn in front of me. You can hear the fireballs behind me. Listen very closely. Listen for the imp fireballs. I know you can't see. Yes, BFG. I know I can't see the imp fireballs, but I'm trying my very best to dodge them. Knight. Listen for the imp. And you really just have to practice step by step, little by little. It doesn't matter if it's Doom 2016, Eternal, or Classic. It's the same principle there. Now we're going to look at some Cyber Demon fights, including pistol only, no equipment. Let's break this thing down. After this, we'll look at this phase of the Cyber Demon with my eyes closed and no BFG. But first, pistol only, no equipment. See, this is a great boss, no matter the game, to look at, because he pairs up attacks, and he's a great introduction to this type of system. You'll notice that when he does his minefield attack, that's not the only thing he does. You have to be situationally aware to know what attack he's going to use next. He might charge forward, he might use rockets, the blades, the charge shot. So you have to pay attention and don't get so absorbed in that first attack that you forget about the second one. And like I said, this goes for anything. You can see right there. I messed up. I let myself get hit. See, situational awareness or peripheral vision, it's used in driving. So think about this. You're driving a car, or the Doomslayer, and all the road hazards like cars and stop signs, traffic signs, people, I guess, are the enemies, except you don't want to rip and tear on the roads, of course. But all the tactics that you use in driving that use in this game. And always wear your seatbelt or saving throw rune. There is no extra life IRL. Stay safe, friends. And it's not just visual cues either. You have to pay attention to the auditory stuff too. Like the charge shot, it has a little beep beep before the cyber demon fires it, so you know that that is when you need to move the other way. And like I said, this goes for any boss, any Doom game. They each have their own applications to this concept. The cyber demon is just a good starter. If you want to go into level 2, try this tactic with the guards. Funny story, actually, I was driving on a countryside road, picture that, and in the middle of that road there was a huge baron. I was situationally aware and I saw him, except he still ran me off the road with his attacks. And that happened in a dream, by the way. That was not for real life. But what if it was? So just how strong can the ears be when it comes to this? Let's take a look at the Cyber Demon Phase 1, eyes closed, no BFG, to see what you can do when you don't have your eyes. So in this clip, I have to go off just the sound and the movement patterns to let me know what's going on. I muted the music so I could best hear the game, and even then, it's still tough. Now, I had certain cues that I listened for, the beginning stomp, the charge shot laser, and other things that could give me the advantage. I even had to count my movement at the beginning to make sure I stayed lined up, and it doesn't always go that well. You can see here I'm sticking to my plan, but I notice he is off to the left and I take a hit, so I turn around here in just a moment and listen. I hear that charge shot laser, so I know whatever I'm doing, I need to go the opposite way right then. I hear him charge to the left, and I know when the silence hits the arena, it's time for the glory kill. If you'd like a more in-depth analysis of this fight, just let me know, and I could maybe make a video on it. I did it. Situational awareness is such an important concept to master, regardless of the skill level you play on. In the comments below, leave the word Doom, and tell me your biggest takeaway from this video. If you've not already, consider following me on Twitch and in the Discord so you can see this gameplay live and catch up with me there. I'm Alston, and I hope to see you rip and tear in the next video. Thank you.